Hello YouTube, Dave here again. So today I'm back with another pickup video or recent new game stuff video, or just things related to the stuff that I enjoy making videos on and talking about. So for this one, it's probably going to be done over the course of probably a month or two. So what I'm doing with this is when I get new stuff in, I'm just going to do a quick video clip kind of showing it off, and then I'm going to edit it all together and release the video probably closer to the end of November. So there's going to be some more stuff being added along the way. And the reason I'm doing that is because I just put out a pickup video not too long ago, like just a week or so by the time I'm recording this section of the video. So yeah, we're going to take a look at some of the cool new stuff that I have been adding to my collection over the course of like late October through until at least the end of November. So the first thing that I want to show off here, I picked this up at Giant Robot Comics in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia. If you're ever in the area, I definitely recommend checking them out. But what we have here is the Starfinder Dead Suns Adventure Path hardcover. So Starfinder Dead Suns Adventure Path was the first path to come out for the Starfinder role-playing game, and actually some of the installments of the Adventure Path even came out before the first Alien Archive was released. So this is just basically compiling all of them into a single book. I will be doing a review video on this some point in the near future from when I'm recording this. It'll likely be out before this video goes live, but regardless, yeah, I loved the Dead Suns Adventure Path. I ended up getting to run the first two installments of the 6-part Adventure Path before like the pandemic hit, so I never did get to finish it. But yeah, this is just, again, really cool. I hope that they do more of these hardcover collections for their adventure paths, but this was something that when I saw that it was available at my local gaming store, it's like, okay, I gotta go and pick this up. So I went and got that more or less. I asked them to set it aside within like 20 minutes of them putting the picture up, and I picked it up on the weekend. But yeah, awesome stuff. And can't wait to dive into it and do the review video. Now, while I was also there, I picked up a few comics. I don't really talk about comics a lot on this channel. It's something that I might start getting into a little bit more. We'll see. But what I ended up getting here was issue number 3 of the new Marvel Predator series. So I do have issues 1 and 2. Obviously, I wouldn't just start with 3. But yeah, so this is actually a really interesting series so far. I will save my thoughts on it if you want me to do my review on the storyline when it kind of concludes, or at least when they reach like their climax for this particular part of the story. Then I'll be sure to do that. But I love Predator. It's one of my all-time favorite movies. And yeah, just really glad to have some Predator comics. In fact, when I was a kid, some of the first comics that I actually collected were Predator comics and Alien comics, which brings me to the Marvel Aliens comic line. So this is issue 1 of, I think this is their 3rd story arc for the comics. I do have the trade of the first story arc. And I think there was one between that one and this one, though I don't think you necessarily have to read all of them to sort of pick up what each individual ones are. But yeah, this one was really cool. It was a variant edition cover. When I actually went to pick up the Dark Sun or the Dead Suns Adventure Path, they just sort of said, well, because I picked up the Predator comic, and the person working behind the counter is like, well, are you interested in the Alien one? Because somebody had this in their account and they decided that they weren't interested. And it's like, and they're variant cover, so it's like, yeah, sure. Because again, Alien. So if Predator's one of my favorite movie franchises, then Alien is like probably my top favorite one. The first R-rated movie I ever saw when I was way too young to be watching those types of movies, but I did anyway, and I think I turned out all right. I think. But yeah, so this is issue number 1 of the new Marvel Alien series, and along with issue 2. And Issue 2 was one that really grabbed my attention because you got the Queen with the warrior xenomorph from like the Aliens movies, so awesome stuff there. I have read issue 1, I haven't read issue 2 yet, but again, I'll share my thoughts on those if you're interested in that at a later point. And then along the lines with Alien, we have the Alien role-playing game Heart of Darkness box set. So yeah, I am currently running an Alien RPG, and I'm actually running the starter set adventure, which is Chariot of the Gods. And eventually I want to go through all of the cinematic adventures. I did run Hope's Last Stand, I think it's called, from the core rulebook as well. And I do have the Destroyer of Worlds that I can't wait to run as well. I do want to do some campaign play between box sets, but this is something, again, that as soon as I saw it, I immediately pre-ordered it from Free League's website. I probably jumped the shark a little bit there because they did offer to issue a review copy, but I said, well, I already pre-ordered it, so don't worry about that. And if there's any way to like endorse something, like to really show how much you love a product, like even though they have been sending some review things, I actually have purchased more products from the Alien role-playing game than I've had sent to me. And I just love this system so much. But yeah, so this one is, I guess, the conclusion of the sort of 3-part story arc that they started with Chariot of the Gods and continued with Destroyer of Worlds. So this is kind of the conclusion, I guess to that. The Draconis Strain saga, which revolves around the black goo, and uses the black goo way better than the movies ever did. But yeah, really awesome stuff. This is actually still sealed, so eventually I will unbox and do a review for this. But yeah, Chariot of the Gods for the starter set, Destroyer of Worlds, and now the brand new Heart of Darkness. So really awesome stuff. So up next for pickups, I was at HFX Games in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia, and we were just sort of there checking a few things out, and my wife picked up a couple of these things for me. So you've already probably seen the review video for it by the time that this pickup video comes out, but the first thing that I want to show here is just the Icon of the Realms, or Icons of the Realms Beholders collections or collector's edition box set. So you got the 3 different beholders here, inspired by paint jobs by these 3 professional miniature painters. And these are really, really cool. Like I said, I did a review video that should have been out a little while before this pickup video comes out. So just check that out. I will try to remember to leave a link to it that you can click on at the end of the video. But we're not done with the beholdery goodness yet, because they also had at the store a brand new variant version of the Beholder miniature. And that's this guy right here. Now, it might be kind of hard to make it out on camera here because it is inside the packaging, but this thing looks absolutely awesome. And if we take a look at the back here, it's just a completely different sculpt for the Beholder miniature. And if you compare it to the original one from 2017 versus this one that came out in 2022, very different takes on the Beholder, but that's awesome because the Beholder is something where they're all meant to be very different from one another. So it's really kind of cool to see a new version of the Beholder come out that looks completely different from the one that we had previous. So this is absolutely awesome. And yeah, I'm super glad to have this in my collection. This one is going to remain sealed along with some other sealed Beholder miniatures, but fantastic. I absolutely love this. So some Beholdery goodness courtesy of HFX Games in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia. So up next, we've got a couple of things that aren't actually like tabletop RPG related, but they're still things that I like to talk about and things that I like to show in this video. The first one is actually related to some things that I've shown in a previous clip in this same video, and this is the second trade for the Alien comic series from Marvel. And I'm actually really enjoying this series. I have the first trade that they did, and I have the first two issues of the third story arc, and this is the second story arc, which I didn't have anything for, and I didn't have anything for at the time that I recorded the pickup with the individual issues of story 3 or arc 3. But yeah, this looks really, really cool. I love the xenomorph kind of going through the field. It actually reminds me of a scene that was planned for the Vincent Ward Wooden Planet Alien 3 with monks kind of chasing after or searching for the xenomorph in like their cornfields or whatever the crop was that they were growing, and there'd be this like overhead shot of the monks going through the field with, then you'd see like the trail of the xenomorph leading towards one of them. So yeah, really, really cool. And yeah, I really like this. I do plan on collecting, at least for the foreseeable future, I do plan on collecting all of the trades. So yeah, really happy to finally have that one. And then the next thing that I have here is for the Nintendo Switch, and it is a copy of Tactics Ogre Reborn. So yeah, really looking forward to this one. I've never actually played any of like the Tactics RPGs. They had things like the Final Fantasy Tactics or anything along those lines. So this is going to be an experience. I actually have to do a little bit of research on this because I originally thought that this was part of like the Ogre Battle series because of like the ogre in there, and it may be, but I think Ogre Battle was done by Atlas, so I don't know if it's just if Square had bought Atlas. Like I don't actually follow a lot of that stuff, but I am really looking forward to this. I kind of wish it was also on the Xbox. But unfortunately, it is not. It seems to be one of those things that's out for everything other than the Xbox, which is kind of annoying because I would have loved to have done a stream of this on Twitch. Eventually, I do plan on getting a better laptop and some sort of like capture device so that I can try to stream things from the Switch as well. And when I do finally get that set up, which will probably be sometime next year, so not anytime in, super soon, then I will definitely, this will be one of the games that I do a stream of. But yeah, really cool stuff, and yeah, I'm really happy to have this. I was told about this at my local EB Games. I was completely unaware that this was a thing, but I went to pre-order a couple of other games, and they actually mentioned this, so I had to put my pre-order down for it. And just picked it up. It's even still actually shrink wrapped at the time that I'm recording this. So awesome stuff. Up next, I have a number of items sent to me by the good folks over at Paizo for the purposes of doing some videos. So I'll be getting to work on some of these reviews in the very, very near future. Up first, we actually have the Book of the Dead battle cards. So the battle cards are essentially like the stat cards for all of the new creatures included in the Pathfinder Book of the Dead. And these things are always great. I've done several reviews of other battle card products that have been released, things for the bestiaries as well as the NPC one. And yeah, this is something that, again, is probably going to be incredibly, top-notch, high quality. Can't wait to dive into that one. The review video for that one should be coming out relatively soon. Also, we've got a Starfinder Adventure Path. This is the third part of the Drift Crashers Adventure Path. So this is the path that came out around the same time as the Drift Crisis book. That's sort of where that started. It's following the storyline from when the drift, basically the drift crash occurred, and going through the drift has become much more unstable or much more unreliable. So now that all three parts of the adventure path are out, I'm going to again try to get around to doing a review video on the adventure path as a whole. That should be coming out sometime in early December. Also, speaking of adventure paths, we have The Ghoul's Hunger. This is the fourth part of the six-part Bloodlords adventure path. And this is one, again, I'm looking really forward to. The Bloodlords is a very undead-centric adventure path, and undead creatures are just some of my all-time favorite things to use. So yeah, really looking forward to this, and once I get the final part, I will do the review for the adventure path as a whole, but part 4 of the 6-part adventure path is currently available. And then up next, and finally from Paizo, at least for this round of pickups is something that I was really looking forward to when it was announced. It's a standalone adventure or adventure arc, campaign arc, whatever you want to refer to it as. And it is the Crown of the Kobold King. So we've got the hardcover book as well as the flip mat that goes along with it. So this is along the lines of the standalone adventures like the Slithering, like the Fall of Plagstone, things along those lines. But what's even better or cooler, I shouldn't say better, but what's cooler about this is that it's actually a compilation of modules from the era before the Pathfinder role-playing game was ever released, when Paizo was putting out modules under the Game Mastery brand. In the period of time between when they lost the ability to publish Dungeon Magazine and before they got into the actual like Pathfinder first edition rule set, they were still putting things out because they had people that were subscribed to the magazines, Dungeon Magazine and Dragon Magazine, and their subscriptions were renewed prior to them losing the magazines, when the magazines were no longer physically printed and they were just going to go to online only, and that's a whole other subject. But they actually had the option for people to get the like modules or the adventure paths sent to them in place of the magazines. So this is D1, D2, and D4 of the original series of Game Mastery adventures. And this thing is really, really cool. The review video for this will be coming out. The review video for this should actually be out by the time you're seeing this. But yeah, really, really awesome book. And yeah, cool to have this compilation. And it is, nice to see some hardcover stuff being released as well. And the flip mat. Now, it does include 2 of the smaller adventure locations from the adventure book itself, but they're the ones that are more reusable than the other, because you've got like a 5-level dungeon crawl in this book, but you also have a ruined cathedral and a graveyard area that factors into the campaign as well. So they went with these 2 maps, I think largely because, again, they're going to be able to be used more often, especially things like the graveyard, and even the ruined cathedral could be used, a few different times. So it's really cool to see that stuff as well. So those were some new items from Paizo, some Pathfinder and Starfinder stuff. And like I said, the review videos for some of these will probably be out by the time this pickup video releases. And other ones are in the pipeline. So really cool stuff. Can't thank them enough. Up next for pickups, I was at my local EB Games, or I guess it's all GameStop now. I got to get used to calling it that, I guess. But I was there to pick up a pre-order. And so I got a pre-order and something else that I thought was just really, really cool. So the first thing that was the pre-order was the new Pokemon games for the Nintendo Switch. We got Scarlet and Violet, and this is the double pack, which has both copies in here, as well as some additional like in-game bonus stuff. So this is actually really cool. I haven't actually opened them yet. They're still sealed, but something that I'm sure will get a lot of use around here in the very, very near future. But while I was there, it was actually during their early Black Friday special, so there was this massive line, and I probably spent about 30 minutes just trying to get to the checkout to be able to get my pre-order. And you had people in there that brought like a crap ton of trade-ins and stuff like that. That was just really, it was just not a great time. I also kind of threw my back out a little bit earlier, like the night before, the day before. So it was not the most fun time, but I did see something there that was just really, really cool, and I had to pick it up. I'm not going to be using it for its intended purposes. It's just going to end up being a display piece, but what it is a Dungeons and Dragons water bottle, which is, really cool in of itself. You got like the ampersand there. It actually looks like a dragon, breathing fire, which is pretty cool instead of just like the flat red logo. But on the other side, we have the Eye of the Beholder, and this is actually pretty much the same Beholder style as the Beholder gift set that I did videos on recently, the Nolzar's Marvelous Miniatures. Beholder, the first version of the Beholder figure, as well as the same kind of Beholder that was on the cover of the Monster Manual. So it's still kind of like that same pose. But again, just really colorful. I absolutely love the different, like just bright colors, greens, yellows. The pink color on the Beholder is pretty awesome. So just really, really cool. They also had a really nice looking Mind Flare water bottle as well. And I love Mind Flayers. They're among my favorite creatures, but the Beholder is number one. So this is just going to go on my shelf just as a collector's piece. So I ended up getting that on a Friday. The next day, we went out for a little bit, and I was at my local game store, Giant Robot Comics in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia. If you're ever in the area, highly recommend checking it out. And while I was there, I ended up picking up Predator issue number 4. So this is the Marvel Predator comic line. I've read the first 2. I'm pretty sure I have 3. I think the issue 3 was earlier in this video. At least I hope it is. It's been a little bit since that part of the video was recorded, but this is issue 4, which I'm looking forward to reading as well. I got to read 3 first, obviously, but yeah, really cool to have that. And then they also had a book there that I had actually seen at another store and was really tempted to pick up on that day, but just never really did end up pulling the trigger. And when I went to, again, my local game store, saw it there, it's like, okay, you know, I definitely want to pick this up. And actually, by the time this video comes out, I will likely have already done a flip through and review of the book, but I'm still going to show it here anyway. And that is the Game Master's book of Legendary Dragons. So this is a third-party 5th edition D&D compatible product. And I know, like, at the time I'm recording this, there's a lot of people talking about, like, the rumor that Wizards is going to kill third-party support with the next edition. The only thing I would say is, honestly, these are, like, the leaks that I hear people talk about all the time where they get super worked up, and it's nothing but somebody either making something up or just speculating, and there's no actual confirmation yet. So let's just kind of relax and wait and see what actually happens. However, the OGL is still out there for 3rd edition, like 3.0 Open Gaming License, and the 5th edition one, so they can't put the toothpaste back in the bottle, right? Anyway, so this looks really, really cool. It's a collection of some legendary dragons, obviously, but there's also a couple of, or I don't think there's a couple, there's like a new playable race in here, and a new playable class. There's a couple player character options, is what I meant to say. There's also some one-shot adventures that are included in here, which is, again, really, really interesting. I haven't actually read the adventures yet, but I did flip through the book while we were out. I was just waiting for my wife and daughter. They went into a place that just wasn't of interest to me, so I was just flipping through this in the car. But yes, looks really, really cool, and obviously, like I said, by the time that this video comes out, I'm sure that the review video will have already posted, but if you haven't seen it, by the time this pickup video comes out, then be sure to check it out. So up next for some pickups, I've already got some videos showing these things off already, but just to have everything sort of all together, Wizards of the Coast has sent me some really cool stuff to take a look at here. The first thing is obviously one of the things that I'm most excited about is the Dragonlance Shadow of the Dragon Queen. So here we've got the standard version of the cover along with the Game Store exclusive cover. This is a campaign for levels 1 through 11. So yeah, really, really cool stuff. Looking forward to that. And then also, they sent me, and this was, like I said, this is something that actually really surprised me. I wasn't expecting it. But they also sent me the Dragonlance Shadow of the Dragon Queen Deluxe Edition. There we go. And yeah, this thing is pretty awesome. So it actually has a third version of the cover for the Shadow of the Dragon Queen book, which has this artwork here on the front cover, which is really cool. It comes with a Dungeon Master screen, and it comes with the Warriors of Krynn board game. So I've already done the unboxing video. As you can see, like the flap and everything has been torn open. So the unboxing for this has already been done. and I'll be working on some of the other videos, including the review of the adventure and all that stuff, coming up very, very soon, as well as my thoughts on the board game. So that was from Wizards of the Coast for D&D, but they also reached out to me to see if I would be interested in reviewing this. So this, and you can see actually how Canadian I am. It's a Tim Hortons hockey card that I'm using for a bookmark. But this is Welcome to Dragon Talk. So this is just some discussions about D&D from Shelley Mazanoble. I hope I said that right. I'm really bad with names, so I apologize. And Greg Tito, and they do like the Dragon Talk podcast. And yeah, so there's just some stories that they've shared here. I will be sharing my thoughts on it. I've only just gotten the book, so I've only read the first few pages, but my plan is to read a story a day, along with a chapter a day of the Dragonlance book until I can get the review video for that out. So really, really cool stuff. Again, I cannot thank the good people over at Wizards of the Coast enough. All right, up next, I received a package from Paizo. This is like November 30th, I think, when I'm recording this portion of the video. So this is kind of a longer term pickup video, and I've really been enjoying just recording little bits and pieces of it here. And so I got this package from them, and this one is awesome. There's some really, really cool stuff in here. The first thing that we have is the Pathfinder Relics deck. So this contains 110 cards, and on the back it reads, "Magic that grows with you." Few things draw the attention of a hero more than a mysterious magic item, especially one that grows in power with them, becoming a legend in its own right. This deck allows you to plan out the powers of your relic and serves as a handy reminder of what mighty feats it can accomplish. The Pathfinder Relics deck contains 84 relic deck cards and 24 relic seeds, each featuring ideas for a powerful magic item. So I believe this is actually one of the first card decks that's not tied to a specific book. Like, this seems to be kind of its own separate thing. I mean, you had like the deck of like endless NPCs as well. But yeah, this is the way to create and scale magic items. So a little while ago, I did a video for the Weapons of Legacy book for 3.5 D&D. And I liked the concept, but not necessarily the execution. So it'll be interesting to see how this goes. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. They also sent along the Monster Layers expansion set. So this is the flip tiles, the 6" by 6" or 6 square by 6 square tiles. And yeah, these look really, really cool. The expansion sets tend to be a little bit more specifically themed than obviously the starter sets. The starter sets are meant to be a bit more generic, and you use the expansions to kind of fill them out. So yeah, this is going to be a really cool one. I'll be doing a video for this very, very soon, and I'll actually be using the tiles in here to try to make some form of map. Like here, it looks like they've got might be like a roc's nest or a giant eagle's nest or something there that you can make with it. So we'll see what we can do with those expansion tiles. We also got, and this looks really, really cool as well. We got the Pathfinder Flip Mat. This is a multi-pack. So this is the Deadly Minds multi-pack. So this contains 2 double-sided poster maps. And I believe they're just the standard, the 24 by 30 inch maps, which is kind of the standard size, but we got like the 4 different maps for different like levels of various minds. And yeah, these look really, really cool. So I'll be doing a video kind of showing this off as well. That might be a little bit later in the month of December, but we will get to it. Also, we have another flip map. This one is for the Starfinder role-playing game, and this is the Metropolis flip map. So we've got a couple of different sections of cities. We've got sort of like a city square with the streets kind of going around it, and then we've got sort of more of your, like, I don't want to say back alleys, but it's sort of just a different section of the city. So yeah, really, again, these maps are absolutely fantastic. You can kind of see some really nice detail in them. I love the creativity that goes into them. All right, up next from them, I received the Bloodlords Adventure Path. This is installment number 5 of 6, A Taste of Ashes. And this one is for levels 15 through 17. So the 6-part Adventure Paths for Pathfinder will usually go from 1st to 20th level. So it's a full length campaign. And yeah, this one's really, really cool. It's really undead kind of focused, and undead are some of my favorite creatures. So I am completely down for that. Once I get the 6th installment, I will do my, just sort of show them all off and give my thoughts on them. Then we also got a couple of hardcover books as well. The first one that we have is for Starfinder, so we have the Interstellar Species book. So this one gives you some new options for the different classes that already exist in the game, including the ones that were introduced in the Character Operations Manual. But we also get a whole new class, the Evolutionist character class. So able to transform their body to overcome challenges, so that looks really cool. And it gives you like a whole host of new playable races as well. So this is the newest release for the Starfinder role-playing game. Definitely check that out. And again, I'll be doing a flip-through video in the very, very near future. And then last, for this section of the video at least, we have the Pathfinder 2nd edition Impossible Lands. So this is a 300+ page campaign setting for the Impossible Lands, and the Impossible Lands sort of, I think it's like one of the eastern parts of Golarion. But the thing that I really like about it is it has like Osarian, and I think it's like Geb, I think is the name of it. So Osarian is kind of like the Egyptian place, and you've got, we got Geb. So Geb is basically it has a large contingent of like civilized undead. And I think it's a really cool concept. So yeah, this is a book that I will also be doing a flip through of in the very, very near future. So again, this is the second shipment of stuff I've received from Paizo in this video, and I really do appreciate it. And yeah, so there we go. So up next, we are actually entering the month of December, so this video is going a little bit into overtime. I decided I'm going to keep it going for a little bit longer, just in case there's anything that I end up picking up for myself throughout the course of the month. So this might be something that I actually end up uploading to close out the year. I don't know why I'm saying this here because it's already deep into the video, and if you're watching it, then you know exactly when I uploaded it. But anyway, the next thing that I actually picked up here was at one of the small local game store in the South Shore area, and this is the Xanathar Collector Series D&D resin miniature. So this is not from WizKids. This is actually a Gale Force 9, so you can see the Gale Force 9 logo there. You got the Xanathar miniature, and yeah, these things are really, really cool. Gale Force 9, some of their stuff is really good. Some of their stuff is kind of, like some of their monster cards or spell cards or magic item card sets that they put out. But these mini sets that they put out, these like sort of like special edition things, these are actually really, really cool. This is the third one that I picked up from them. And I just keep these sealed. I just see they're more like a shelf collecting thing for me. But I have Jarlaxle as well as Minsc with Boo, and now I have Xanathar. I was actually really surprised I didn't have this, and I kind of wish that I had this when I recorded my complete Beholder collection video, which was only a couple of weeks ago, and now it's already hopelessly out of date, but that's still cool anyway. So yeah, picked this up, really happy with it, and it's going to make a great addition to my collection. And finally, on December 19th, 2022, I received a package from Free League Publishing, and I'm really excited about this one here. Free League is quickly becoming one of my favorite RPG companies. Everything that I've received from them, or everything that I've purchased from them so far, has been absolutely top-notch, and this, I don't think, is going to be any exception to that. But it is the Blade Runner RPG. So the Alien role-playing game is one of my favorite systems that I currently own, that I've currently been running, and this one looks like it's going to be very interesting as well. So here we do have the starter set, and the Free League starter sets are absolutely fantastic. So I'm really looking forward to unboxing this one, which will actually be recording right after I record this section. of the video. So you'll probably have already seen the unboxing video before this goes live. But yeah, really looking forward to this. Just really impressive stuff with Free Leagues RPGs. But that's not all they sent. So I was only really expecting the starter set. But they also sent along the Game Runners screen. So the GR. So this is for the the Game Master, or whatever you want to refer to them as. So this is the Game Runner screen. So again, I'll also be recording a video for this as well, but I'm looking forward to opening this as well. And like one of the things that again really impresses me with the Free League stuff, especially when it comes to their licensed properties, is that they don't take like the easy way out. It's all like actual commissioned artwork that they use for these products, instead of just taking like still images from the movies and putting them in their systems or in their books. So really impressed with that. And not only did they send the starter set and the Game Master screen, but they also sent the core rulebook. So I have the core rules, the starter set, and the Game Runners screen, which looks really, really cool again. So the review video for this will actually probably not go out until sometime in January, because we are only a couple of days, when I'm recording this, we're only a couple of days away from taking our Christmas holiday break, visiting family, and we're going to be gone until January 2nd or 3rd or something like that. So anyway, really, really cool stuff. And I will be doing a flip through and a review, as well as trying to do like character creation and stuff like that. But this is really what I think is really interesting about this is it's not the dice pool system like the Alien role-playing game, but instead you have ranks of proficiency, I guess is the easiest way to put it. And they're ranked like A, B, C, or D, and it's just different dice that you roll depending on what your rank is. So if it's a D rank, then you're rolling a D6 and you only succeed on a 6. For all these things, you succeed if you roll a 6, but if your die is greater than a d6, then you can succeed on your rolls if you roll 6 or higher, which is really cool. So you've got the C rank will be a d8, the B rank would be a d10, and you can even get up to d12s with the A ranking on like skills and ability checks and stuff like that. So really, really cool stuff, and I just want to thank Free League for sending this to me. I really do appreciate it, and I can't wait to start we're doing some videos and reading a little bit more about the system. But I think that's going to do it. I think that's going to bring an end to this months-long pickup video. I've decided this will be the final video that I put out or make public on my channel in 2022. It's been a pretty good year with some really fantastic, amazing releases. Some of the highlights would have to include things like Crown of the Kobold King, the Dragonlance adventure for 5th edition D&D, the Heart of Darkness for the Alien role-playing game, the new Alien comic series, which is really, really cool, and of course the things like the Blade Runner role-playing game. So anyway, this is something that took a little bit longer than I was expecting. Normally I do a pickup video for like a month period. This one was one that I was originally planning to have going into November, and here we are near the end of December. So, by the time this video goes live, we would have already had the Christmas holiday, but I do hope that each and every one of you has a fantastic and a safe and happy new year, and I will see you all in 2023. Until then, take care.